All right, we got the Saints. We got the Bears. We got grades. On this channel, those who don't know, my name is Adam Mason, Bear Down Sports. This is we do a lot of analytical stuff on here. We do a lot of perspectives and takes. It's not just PFF grades. We take what happened in the actual game. We take the stats, we compare them together, and that's what gives you a whole picture. It's not just one thing or the other. You got to look at the whole thing. This game was, man, I'm really grateful the running game has got going. I'm glad the line is as good as it is right now, because without the running game, we'd be in a crap ton of trouble. This team would be in trouble. Caleb's worst game of his career, in my opinion. Now, last year, he didn't understand the pocket as well. He wasn't escaping as well. He took bigger sacks, that week. Whatever it was, Washington and the 2 games following that were pretty freaking rough. Those were rough last year. So those are arguably his worst games of his career. This one, as far as his mechanics and just not, on the run, throwing it 10 feet in front of the receiver's foot, just being inaccurate, showing that these concerns are real. It was rough. But the running game really carried this team. 200 plus all-purpose yards from our running backs. 200, almost 250. The entire offense was basically the running backs. So really good thing. Do appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're excited for the Bears to be on a 4-game winning streak, if you're excited to jump into the guts of this thing, go ahead and hit that like button. We're going to get this thing started off.
Bear Down Sports, making Chicago proud.
All right. So what this started out as was the Caleb Williams, Spencer Rattler revenge game. Really started by Saints fans, to be honest with all that stuff. It didn't turn out to be that. If I'm going to grade these guys, I would say this was a F grade by Spencer Rattler and probably a C- to a D grade by Caleb Williams, and that's being very fair. So this is pre-game. What this ended up being was
one game ball for right now. We'll have more tomorrow. I have one game ball right now, okay? I already talked about defense, 4 turnovers, okay? Defense, 44 yards on the ground, all right? Defense, 4 sacks. Dennis Allen, come here!
Hey, sometimes the good Lord just has a freaking plan for you that you don't know about.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes you ain't good enough for somewhere else. That's perfectly fine.
Yes, sir.
I love being here. And I love being with this group of guys. You guys work your damn off. Right? But 4 ain't enough. 4 ain't enough. Next one. Let's go get that.
Never let it rest. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. Better get better. Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3.
That never gets old. The Dennis Allen revenge game is what it ended up being. So, good for him. We didn't highlight that enough, and we should have, because he got fired by them last year. He knew Spencer Rattler. He knew that entire team. He came in prepped and ready, locked and loaded, and he made a huge difference. In fact, after the first couple games of the season, Dennis Allen has had this defense with limited people. Grady Jarrett's been out a lot. Jalen Johnson's been out all year. Terrell Smith's been out all year. We've had guys down. TJ Edwards down at different points. We've had guys down. And he's got guys stepping up and making plays. He's got guys like Dominic Robinson making plays. Like Jerome Ford with a couple of plays. Nashawn Wright looking like he can fill in and make us serviceable until Jalen Johnson comes back. So let's jump into the grades. Let's jump into the meat and potatoes of this sucker. Here's the PFF grades. And first off, we're going to start off with Caleb. So this is after week 6. And you know what? I'm going to say this. We don't have to jump deep into him every single week, because we usually do that. Every once in a while, guys are going to have a bad game. And this was just flat out a bad game by Caleb, period. It was not good. We pointed out his inaccuracies before the game. They did not get fixed in this game, in a wet weather game. So it's unfortunate, but here we are. So we're not going to hound on this one too much. I'd like to see a little bit of things cleaned up here. Let's show right here, though. The turnover-worthy plays, he had 2 of those, and he didn't have any big-time throws. Pressure turned to sacks, still not bad. 1 sack in 10 defensive pressures. So that's well below average. So you want to keep this where it is. Time to throw was way up. He seemed a little bit lost, like their coverage was confusing him a little bit. And then when he'd get out and scramble and run, he just wasn't very clean on the run like he is sometimes. So 61.7 is one of his lowest. In fact, I think that is his lowest NFL pass rating for a game in his career. Just not a good game for Caleb. And we'll just move forward from this one. We're going to take the pressure off him. We're going to take it off of him. On to the offense. So the entire offensive grades here, and no shocker, DeAndre Swift had the highest grade out of anybody. Drew Dahlman, I think they were a little bit generous with him. A couple of bad snaps. He got lucky on one of those because of it would have been a turnover on 4th down. We wouldn't have got the field goal there, and we needed the field goal. Kyle Monangai with his best game yet so far. Really good. We'll go into these running backs in a minute. Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson had decent games. DJ Moore played a really good game again. Down at the bottom, Theo Benedict did not have a good game. Worst game for Theo Benedict so far. I'm not on the bandwagon where you just say, oh, we're done with Theo Benedict, then put Braxton Jones back in or put Ozzie in. Let's just fix this. Let's throw somebody else in there. He had a bad game. He got bull rushed a couple times. He got thrown on his butt. He got tripped right into Caleb. It was bad. Is what it is. He's going to have a couple learning experiences as he becomes a young left tackle in the league. It's going to happen a couple times. You're going up some Granderson and Young. You've got a couple of good defensive ends on you, so it's going to be tough sometimes. I'm not in love with Durham Smythe not being what we hope to get out of a tight end 3, but it's a tight end 3. So, hopefully Colston Loveland's pass blocking will improve a little bit, and we can have him in on those snaps. He didn't really pass block at all. He got a 0 grade here. I'll show you later because he had penalties, but he never really had any opportunities. 2 penalties on pass pro, but never really played any pass pro other than that. So that's going to give you a perfectly bad grade. But overall, the offense played very well other than the passing game. Protecting Caleb, here is your pass block efficiency, and you can see here's your opportunities for each one of these guys. Who's in the middle here is kind of low, but these are your offensive linemen. You got Drew Dahlman, Joe Tooney, Jonah Jackson, Darnell Wright, and Theo Benedict. And the pressures, Theo had 3 pressures. He's lucky he didn't get a couple sacks. That's really Caleb saving his bacon on a couple of those. One of them, Caleb should have been swallowed up, and Caleb got away from it. You're like, how the heck did he get away from that? But that's great. And then 2 penalties as well. So not a great game. Overall, only 5 sacks on the year against the Bears, which is phenomenal. Denver with 1, Kansas City with 3, Seattle, Dallas with 4, Indianapolis with 3. So that's really good. But with the Bears, it's really Caleb understanding his pocket presence, understanding his awareness, and being the difference maker there. Caleb has made a night and day difference with the pressures turned into sacks this year. He is really understanding and not taking those big losses, which is a huge thing. The 1 loss this week, he probably should have got rid of the ball. He saw it coming. That's something he could have avoided with the 1 sack. Taking 1 like that every couple weeks, I mean, that's still phenomenal. So you can see 3 pressures from Theo, 1 from Darnell Wright, 2 from Jonah Jackson, 1 from Joe Tooney, and none from Drew Dahlman. So if not for his penalty and the couple of muffles, we'll call them missteps on the snap, which Ben Johnson addressed today and said, they're all basically going to get on the same page and be completely dedicated to making sure there's never another bad snap again. You work on it, you work through it. Drew Dahlman, amazing in the run game. You can see the run blocking grade, 76.8, highest on the team. Colston Loveland also did very well. In fact, he pancaked a huge offensive lineman on the run game. It was really fun to see, so it was good to see that. No opportunities on pass blocking, but he did have 2 penalties, so they're going to grade him negatively, but you can't really garner that too much. Cole Kmet's been doing very well in pass pro this year. Only 2 opportunities this game, but very well graded out. But the running game overall looking really good, and that's really the big difference maker in this game and something you should expect moving forward. This running attack should be looking pretty clean, and it all comes down to the offensive line. So it's really fun to see how it's coming to fruition and how these guys are looking. All right, we move on to the running backs. I got to show these 2. This is a phenomenal game for both of these guys. You got the rushing game here, DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. 6.5 yards per attempt, 6.2 yards per attempt, each of them with a touchdown. 2 missed tackles forced by DeAndre Swift, and 2 on each of his catches by Kyle Monangai in the passing game. So this is receiving down here. Both aspects of their game phenomenal. NFL pass rating when targeted was high. You remember Caleb's was 67 or something like that. Them each being higher than that means when they took it's only 3 receptions. It's a small sample size, but them when they do that shows that they were a clean outlet, an easy outlet for Caleb to be able to have some efficiency in this game where he was not efficient. So it was our saving grace in this game. So you see DeAndre Swift 138 all-purpose yards. You can see here 124 of those came on the run, 14 came in receiving, and even more impressive 3.32 yards after contact. So that was part of his missed tackles. He forced getting 3.32 yards after initial contact is phenomenal. We haven't had anybody doing that high. Kyle Monangai not far behind at 2.92. They both played very downhill and very hard, so it was fun to watch. 6.5 yards per rush for DeAndre Swift, a touchdown, 2 missed tackles forced. Kyle Monangai 94 all-purpose yards. You see 81 here, and then 13 in the passing game. 6.2 yards per rush, 1 touchdown, 2 missed tackles forced as well. Combined 232 all-purpose yards, 6.4 yards per rush, 2 touchdowns, 4 missed tackles forced. It's a phenomenal game from your running back room. And on top of that, Roschon had an 11-yard rush. DJ Moore had a couple rushes, and it just looked really good by the offensive line and these guys coming together. So I'm really impressed with that. Moving over to the defensive side of the ball, which was even more impressive than the running game this game. You can see Shamar Turner did have 10 snaps, and they were all on the outside again, trying him at defensive end. This game was a lot less successful than last game. Last game looked pretty good for the young defensive end. Dominic Robinson, same boat. He had a huge tackle for a loss, which was nice, but he had a couple missed tackles as well. And they're grading him hard for the coverage grade. For one play, he had to drop back and try to save a play that was getting away from them. So I would put him more up in this range, the high 50s to 60s. I'm not that hard on Dominic Robinson. That's why all these things need to be taken in a bubble. Chris Williams, get him off my team. I've said that before. Last game, he had a couple good plays. Tremaine Edmonds, overall defensively, his tackling grade was way high. They've got him a little bit low here, too. I thought he was fine. I'm not sure why they were covering him so low. I think there was a couple receptions against him. He could have had another interception that he dropped. So take these things in a bubble. TJ Edwards, very good. Nashawn Wright, best game of his career so far. Makes you think that there might be some semblance of a defense before Jalen Johnson gets back, because without Tyreek Stevenson, we were screwed. DeMarco Jackson getting in on some plays again with Noah Sewell out and looking very good again. Not enough attention being brought to DeMarco Jackson, so that's really good to see. Gervon Dexter with the fumble recovery. A lot of pressures. He wasn't the one that got home, but it helped other guys get home. Opened up for like Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker to get in there. He was creating a lot of opportunities by being a force in the middle. Gervon Dexter is looking really good, in my opinion. Tyreek Stevenson looked really good until he had to go out. Kevin Byard, obviously, looking phenomenal. So overall, the defense played very, very well. I don't think anybody can complain about the defense. Here's your defensive line, how they looked. Here's your pass. I mean, this is tiny, and I apologize for those who are looking on their phones or those who are. I'm just going to point out a couple things here. Andrew Billings and Chris Williams, Shamar Turner, not looking great in pass rush. We really need somebody in the inside to help out Gervon Dexter, because he's the only one that's been getting some pass rush. As for the linemen, Gervon Dexter with a 22.7 pass rush win rate in this game is absolutely phenomenal. He's living up to the bill. And Montez Sweat right behind him there consistently on the pass rush and his pass rush win rates, getting a sack in the game. So did Kyler Gordon, Tremaine Edmonds, and Jaquan Brisker. Excuse me. So that was really good. Gervon Dexter was really kind of the driving force for that. Montez Sweat helping him out as well. Other than that, Dominic Robinson was getting some pressure. He got 3 total pressures, which was good. Just a little bit of missed tackle issues again, and you can see that. Let's see. Here's the run defense. Dominic Robinson. It doesn't show he missed any, but I saw him miss one. So overall, the run defense is phenomenal. I think we only allowed 44 yards total in the run game, which is awesome. But these defensive tackles struggling. Maybe it was Shamar Turner's that I saw on the missed tackle, which was rough. So overall, Dio Odengbo kind of on the lower end of the list on pass rushing. Nothing real impressive there, but on the run game, he was a force. He was always clogging some holes. So nothing to complain about. Let's see how we do against tougher competition next week with the Ravens on a bye week, coming off a bye week with their guys all getting healthy. We'll see what happens. But nice to see 4 interceptions, 4 sacks, couple tackles for loss, which was awesome. Overall, the defensive unit looked really, really good. So Dennis Allen has them churning and humming. Here's your coverage grades. And you can see here, Nashawn Wright, who has had a terrible year all year, had a 42.4 NFL passer rating against him. Talk about stepping up in the clutch when it was needed most, because Tyreek Stevenson, when he went down, didn't really have any other options. You know, we've got Nashawn Wright, you got Nick McLeod, and what else are we going to do? I mean, what else we got going on? So, and I know Jaquan Brisker really stepped up a lot when Tyreek went out as well. TJ Edwards filled over. But you see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pass breakups by these, 2 by TJ Edwards, 1 by Nashawn Wright, 1 by DeMarco Jackson, 1 by Tyreek Stevenson, 1 by Kevin Byard, and then 3 interceptions, Tremaine Edmonds, Kevin Byard, and Nashawn Wright, and then the punch out, the forced fumble, who Jervon Dexter recovered that one. Dropped interception by TJ Edwards as well. So overall looked phenomenal by the defense. All right, I'm going to go back to kicking again, because this is something I was the only one I know of. And I said this on Twitter when we were on our own 49. So that's going to be a 51-yard field goal plus 7 yards for the snap plus 10 yards for the end zone. That's a 68-yarder. When we were there, I was sitting there like, please let Jake Moody kick it. Please. We're up at that time 13, I think it was 13-0. I was just, please do not punt this ball. I know that's the logical thing. Punt it, put it within there, which we did. And Torrey Taylor, awesome punt, was in the 10-yard line, so it was great. It pinned him back. I think they actually came back and scored on that one, though. I wanted so bad to see Jake Moody attempt a 68-yarder. If you hadn't seen on Twitter, I posted in the preseason, he had the game-winning field goal for the Niners over the Raiders, where he kicked it was 49, 56, 66, so 67, 68-yarder. I have to go look. So almost the same distance, just the other 49-yard line, 50-yard line. It was midfield, almost the exact same spot. And it was good from 70 plus. Like some places estimated it was at 75. It was on the upper half of the goalpost. In fact, I think I put the picture here. This is after it had already gone through. It went through somewhere like right here, and then it's going back. This is his 59-yarder. Right, so they snapped it, held it to 49. Okay, so 59 yards, but it was estimated to go for over 70 yards. So I wanted to see Jake Moody get a shot at kicking a 68-yarder. If he did that, there's no chance we could ever cut him. But so far through 2 weeks with the Bears, 4 field goals in each game. Yes, he had a missed field goal last week because of a blocked punt, a bad snap. It took time to get it down. It wasn't like a low trajectory. It wasn't a his fault type of situation. He's been perfect with the Bears so far. You see week 6, 47-yarder, 48-yarder, 41-yarder, 38-yarder. This last week, 27, 39, 24, 33. All the extra points have been good as well. I really, really am intrigued to see what happens, because he's got a big leg. And he could have put it through at 68 yards, and I really wanted Ben Johnson to give him that opportunity. Nobody else blinked an eye, because we're used to it. If we're at midfield, that's what you do. You punt it. I would have loved to see him have an opportunity to kick that. I hope he gets more opportunities. I hope this isn't the end of the road for Jake Moody, because this has been a fun story to follow. Either way, he's proven himself. He's showing that he was worth that 3rd-round pick by the Niners. They let go of him early. A little bit of a rough year last year, but he was 3 for 3 in the Super Bowl. Kicked a 55-yarder in the Super Bowl 2 years ago in his rookie season. I really hope he gets to stay on the roster. I would love to see somehow, some way him to stay. If you feel the same way, put a comment down there. Even if you don't, if you're stuck on sticking with Cairo Santos, let me know down below. In fact, maybe I'll put a poll in the chat down here. I really want to see Jake Moody have more opportunity with the Bears. All right, that's it for grades. There's so much more we can go into, and I want to get to the film. I always tell you guys I want to get to the All-22, and I just don't have enough time in my life, and I want to. There's so many good things to point out and see. Even showing you Theo Benedict and his regression this week, but showing, optimism that he can turn it around. Showing Caleb and his inaccuracy. There's negative things to take. There's also so much good to garner as well. There are so many good things happening. A 4-game win streak. We haven't done that since 2018. And the team's 4-2. We were 4-2 last year, but it feels very different. It feels like the coaching is different. Feels like we're headed in the right direction with the line especially coming together and blocking, run blocking, pass blocking. It feels good. I feel like we have an opportunity any given Sunday. You hear the terminology, any given Sunday. I feel like we have that now at the Bears, where we could beat any team if we have all 3 phases going. If we were facing the Broncos, if we were facing the Buccaneers this week with this passing game, wouldn't have happened. The running game, it would have pulled its weight. The special teams would have pulled its weight. Defense would have pulled its weight. So if we can get all things clicking, I feel like any given Sunday we can beat any team. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Till next time, Dub Bears and Bear Down.
Bear down, sports making Chicago proud.